Like it or not, Bears rookie quarterback Caleb Williams is the real deal. He showed us this past week why he was the number one pick. He's improved every single week, and we're going to break down what we saw from him in week 5 on film. Real quick, I'm going to be breaking down Xavier Worthy's week 5 performance on the Fantasy Trading Rooms channel this week. Make sure you check them out. They do film breakdowns just like I do, and I'd really appreciate it. We're going to take a look at a couple of advanced stats here, which, when we look at them, is going to make his week 5 performance even more impressive. His career has been pretty turbulent so far. The situation, at least in my opinion, I thought was going to be a lot better than it's been. I thought that the line was going to be, below average, but I didn't think it was going to be as bad as it's been. I thought that he was probably going to get off to somewhat of a rocky start, but I thought we would see more upside immediately, admittedly, than he showed. But I do think that obviously people overreacted over a couple bad games, and then people are going to overreact over a good game here in week 5. But there is a lot of good and a lot of bad. When we take a look at his air yards, his 1,182 ranks 4th in the NFL. When we look at his money throws, his 4 money throws ranks 14th in the NFL. And so both of those are relatively good for a rookie. Then when we look at his pressured throws, his 26 ranks 12th overall. That's not good. That means he's getting pressured at a pretty high rate. And thus, his danger plays of 9 ranks 4th, and his 6 interceptable passes ranks 7th. And so obviously that's not good. We don't want to see a lot of danger plays or interceptable passes. However, when you contextualize part of why that's happening, it's because if you look at his protection rate, it's 79.6%. That's 26th in the NFL. That means his offensive line, which is partially due to scheming, hasn't been doing him any favors. And so it's hard to expect a rookie quarterback, even if he has solid playmakers to throw to immediately perform well when he's not being protected. There are other things as well, such as Shane Waldron's confounding use of the playmakers. For instance, on a 3rd and 6, he'll do a tight end screen where he has Rome Odunze blocking for Cole Kmet in the flat. That should ideally be the other way around, because Rome Odunze is much better after the catch than Cole Kmet in terms of short area quickness and the ability to convert a first down. And so it's the little things like that. And on a 4th and goal, running a speed option to the left. I'm sorry, but Caleb Williams is much more powerful than people realize, and running him up the gut on a sneak would be a much better idea than running a speed option to the left, especially when your offensive line isn't that great in the run game horizontally. And we've seen that over the past 2 weeks, they've started to run more power football, and thus you've seen immediate results in the yards per carry for the running backs. And now we're going to take a look at some counting stats. In week 1, he only had 6.22 fantasy points. It was an abysmal performance against the Titans. Now we're going to take a look at some of his counting stats. Admittedly, it was a turbulent start. In week 1, he only had 6.22 fantasy points. He completed 14 of 29 passes for only 93 yards, and he only had 15 rushing yards on 5 carries. That's an abysmal performance. However, his offensive line did him no good. The running game didn't go anywhere. And so it is, especially against Tennessee, who's a very underrated defense, it would be a little bit disingenuous to expect him to just magically perform well in that situation. Then when we look in week 2, I believe he had 34 pressures in that game. And so he completed 23 of 37 passes for 174 yards, 2 interceptions, which were pretty bad throws where he was trying to make something out of nothing. However, he did have 5 carries for 44 yards on the ground. That game, Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter were on him immediately. He didn't have a chance. I mean, once they started blitzing, and I mean just simple 5-man blitzes, and let alone if they did any stunts, they immediately got through every single time, and he did not stand a chance. And so after 2 weeks, everyone was saying this guy's a bust, he sucks. And then in week 3, people started to have a little bit more hope. He completed 33 of 52 passes, which really isn't very good, for 363 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 picks. He only rushed 1 time for 8 yards, however. And so the 18.32 fantasy point performance was a lot better, obviously. However, with the good, there was bad. He was really late on a throw to the left and was picked off, and then he was picked off again where, admittedly, he did throw the ball right into Rome's breadbasket. However, he fumbled the ball in the air, and so the same cornerback that had the previous interception got another one. And so there was good and bad mixed in there. We also saw that he threw that out route to Rome Odunze for a touchdown, and it was his first passing touchdown, and it was Rome's first receiving touchdown. And so we did like what we saw there. Then in week 4, he completed 17 of 23 passes for 157 passing yards, 1 touchdown, no picks, including 5 rush attempts for 12 yards. The overall completion rate was good, but he was more of a game manager. But to be fair, we saw incremental improvements from week 1 to 2, 2 to 3, and 3 to 4. In week 5 is when he started to take over. In week 5, he went 20 of 29 for 304 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, including 5 rushes for 34 rushing yards. And you know that I'm not somebody that just looks at some counting stats and says, oh, he's good, or oh, he's terrible. Admittedly, there was some really good here, but there was also some bad. And so we're going to break down what we saw from him on week 5 on film, and then come up with our own assessment of his play. The first play we're going to take a look at here is an example of the bad. And this is really, really bad. We're going to pay attention to Keenan Allen here. He's going to go in motion. He's going to end up running a flat route. The Panthers are going to be in cover 2. J.C. Horn is the key defender to pay attention to here. He's going to be on Keenan Allen on the flat. You have Mike Jackson. He's going to be in the flat. The 2 safeties are going to be covering deep. And then you're going to have the underneath defenders guarding the short area in the middle of the field. And so here, we're going to see him go into motion. They get lined up. He signals for Keenan Allen to go in motion. The ball's hiked. And we stop right here. The throw isn't late. He already has his arm cocked. He's ready to throw this to Keenan. Keenan's open. He has about 4 or 5 yards of separation. And so the play right at this moment is looking fantastic. The ball placement is the issue here. Look at that. If he would have just put the ball on this shoulder for Keenan Allen, he might have been able to spin out of J.C. Horn's tackle. Could have potentially gotten a first down, maybe even more. Look at the ball placement. That should be a pick 6 first play of the game. Luckily, Keenan Allen got a hand on it, and so it just ended up being an incompletion, but that is incredibly dangerous. Let's take a look from the top. He goes in motion. He's going to run into the flat. Terrible, and I mean terrible ball placement. You can't have that from any starting quarterback, let alone the number 1 overall pick. And so when I saw that, the first play of the game, I thought, oh my goodness. Don't worry though, it does get better from here. All right, so the first play was an example of bad. This is an example of good. One thing is that Caleb Williams is being asked to do a lot. He sets his protection, he checks out of plays, he has a ton of control at the line of scrimmage. That's going to help him out tremendously in the long run. All right, so he checks out of the play they're going to originally run. I don't know what that was. However, he's going to end up running a fake to the running back. Rome Odunze is going to end up catching the pass. He's going to run in the flat, and he's going to get a ball from Caleb here on the run. The Panthers are running match cover 3, and so J.C. Horn's going to end up playing man coverage against the receiver here. Same with Mike Jackson. Free safety is going to go deep. We're going to have our underneath defenders here. Rome Odunze is going to end up being matched up with a linebacker. He easily wins. It's a shame that he trips because he could have gotten a lot of yards after catch, but it's still a first down. And so let's take a look at the play. All All right, so he checks out of it. He's letting everybody know. Here we have the fake to the running back. We have Rome Odunze running beneath the line of scrimmage, open to the flat. And so Caleb notices that he's open. He gets squared up, throws a jump man pass to him. He does end up tripping, but it's still a first down. That's a perfect example of him taking control at the line of scrimmage, adjusting to a play that's going to work, and then actually throwing the ball to the correct place for his wide receiver to make yards after catch. He just can't control that Rome Odunze is going to trip. This next play is another example of good from Caleb Williams, although it could be better. DJ Moore is going to catch a touchdown here. He's going to be running an over route. You have Keenan Allen in the slot, purposefully setting a pick with a crosser. And Rome Odunze is keeping the cornerback on the bottom of your screen, Mike Jackson, as well as the safety busy. The Panthers are blitzing and they're running match cover 3. And so Mike Jackson is going to try to stay with Rome Odunze. J.C. Horn's going to get inadvertently picked by the slot cornerback right here. And so the one thing I'm going to critique here is the ball placement, once again, from Caleb Williams. It's obviously a touchdown here, although DJ Moore isn't quite able to stay in perfect stride. Let's take a look. All right, and so you're going to have Keenan Allen purposefully setting a pick and getting right in the way of J.C. Horn. And so that creates the separation. DJ Moore slightly has to reach for it. Obviously, it's a catchable ball. He ends up scoring. It's just, you would like him to be able to stay in stride. However, to his credit, he stays in bounds, free touchdown. And it's nice to see for DJ Moore because this was a revenge game for him. If you like what you're seeing and hearing so far, feel free to like and subscribe. I love doing these film breakdowns, and if you want to see more content like this, it's a free and easy way to support the channel. Thanks. Dare I say it, do we have brilliance from Shane Waldron? Well, at first when you look at this play, it's something that I actually just complained about a minute ago. It looks as though they're running the exact same play that never works, where they're running a tight end screen to Cole Kmet and having their elite playmakers block for him. So Cole Kmet is going to run in the flat here as if it's going to be a screen. The wide receivers pretend as though they're blocking for him before heading vertically down the field. DJ Moore is going to take an inside release on a vertical route. The Panthers are going to be in cover 3, so this cornerback's going to hang with him, or at least try, and the key word here is try. J.C. Horn's going to be at the top of your screen, and this free safety is the conflict defender here. He has 2 choices. Since they're running cover 3, it's his job to stay in the middle of the field. He can either stay on one side with DJ Moore, or he can try to guard the other side of the field where there's 2 routes. He's going to choose this side of the field because, first of all, Caleb Williams fakes as though he's going to look towards Cole Kmet. Then he fakes as though he's looking in the slot up here, but the entire time he wants to hit DJ Moore. This is a play of beauty. And so Caleb fakes as though he's checking into the play I was complaining about. First, we have the fake screen to Cole Kmet, which draws the defenders upfield. But then they head down the field vertically. And right now, he's looking directly in the slot, which is bringing the free safety here. But he heads right back to DJ Moore, who has great positioning here. And we have a second touchdown in DJ Moore's revenge game against the Panthers. Plays just like this are why Caleb Williams was selected first overall. The arm talent pops off the screen. Keenan Allen's going to catch the ball here. He is going to fake as though he's running an out route, put a nasty juke move on this slot defender here before heading up the seam. The Panthers are going to be in cover 3. This cornerback is going to bite here. Now, the free safety, to his credit, reasonably quickly diagnoses what's happening here. However, because of Caleb Williams' incredible, and I cannot stress this enough, incredible arm talent, he's able to fit this ball in here. This is a dot. Let's take a look. All right, so here we have the juke move. The cornerback bites on that. Plus, Caleb Williams, if you can see here, is purposefully looking at him so that it makes him especially bite on this. Then he heads upfield. Beautiful route by Keenan Allen. Caleb gets lined up and throws a missile. Dot. Let's watch that all the way through. That is incredible arm talent. This play is an example of something that if you're box score watching, you would never know happened. This play shows some brilliance from Caleb Williams, especially his improvisational ability. However, it also shows that he's a rookie. Shane Waldron cooks up a play where Gerald Everett is running an out route. Cole Kmet is heading to the flat. It's a PA fake to the running back, who's going to leak out to the side, but he's not really involved in the play after the PA fake. You're going to have 25 contending with Cole Kmet as he heads this way. And you're going to have number 2 here guarding Gerald Everett on the out route. Cole Kmet is going to get separation here, and Caleb Williams misses this due to pressure from the defensive line of the Panthers. However, watch this brilliance from Caleb Williams. All right, so here we have the PA fake. He immediately looks upfield. As you're going to see, Cole Kmet gets a step on the defender here, and Caleb sees him. Oh, he has a touchdown if he throws it there. However, this defender is about to get pressure, and watch what Caleb Williams does. Skirt! Walk-in touchdown. As you see, though, some laundry was thrown on the field, and the play was called back. This is what gives me hope for Caleb Williams. Even though he's a rookie, he's missing the little things, like Cole Kmet being open on the flat route. He misses sometimes where Rome Odunze is open downfield. This improvisational ability is something that most quarterbacks don't possess. This play shows the brilliance of Caleb Williams, while also showing that he's still a rookie and has a ton of room for improvement. But there just aren't that many quarterbacks that can do what he does, especially when you combine that with the arm talent that he displays. I'm not the biggest fan of this camera view in general, but it's necessary for this one. First, we're going to have a fake to the running back. We're gonna get some pulling action by the guard as well to really sell it. And so I'm gonna let that little bit play out. All right, he gets set. We also get some motion to draw the defense to this side of the field before faking to the left, which really sells the fake here. All right. Now you're going to notice that Caleb Williams immediately spots up and gets his line of vision right here. And what that's going to do is it's going to draw the linebackers to head backwards because he looks as though he's trying to hit him over the top. You'll also notice that Cole Kmet here is blocking, but he's eventually going to purposefully let the guy by before getting a screen. Now, I want to rewind this just a little bit. Look at this silly arm angle. I mean, this is ridiculous. Look at that. This is why people were comparing him to Patrick Mahomes. Is he a one-for-one Mahomes? No, there's only one Mahomes. However, he possesses traits like this that are similar to Mahomes. This is brilliance. And I really, really like that they get the motion going towards the right before faking the run with some pulling action by the guard, then getting Caleb Williams to look as though he's trying to hit him over the top so it draws the linebackers backwards. Then the silly arm angle to Cole Kmet. Let's take a look at this. This is a play of beauty. I must say, I was very, very critical of Shane Waldron throughout the first couple of weeks. But I must say, even though, to contextualize it, they are playing the Panthers, Shane Waldron called a really, really good game this week. If this Shane Waldron continues to show throughout the rest of the season, this Bears offense is going to look really good. Caleb Williams is progressing nicely from week to week, and this is the first week, besides admittedly that first almost pick six to J.C. Horn, where we saw Caleb Williams start to take over a game. This is a wonderful sign of things to come for him, and if he does end up putting it all together and stops missing the easy throws or the shot plays, Caleb Williams is going to be elite. Caleb Williams has a lot of flaws. He misses chunk gains down the field. He doesn't see open receivers on shot plays from time to time. He's gone from, at first, never taking the check down to, at least in week 4, taking the check down too often and not seeing the shot plays. And even in this game, the ball placement on that first throw was absolutely atrocious and should have been a pick six. And then he did miss, for instance, Cole Kmet at the goal line for a passing touchdown. But he also possesses elite traits that really don't come very often. His improvisational ability is already top 3 in the NFL. He has amazing pocket awareness. He has scrambling ability. The arm angles that he's able to achieve are crazy. The arm talent, and especially when you just combine all of these factors together, are going to lead to him being an elite quarterback at the NFL level. Don't write him off after a couple of poor weeks in which he played poorly, but he also was not helped in any way, shape, or form. The pass blocking was atrocious. They couldn't handle a stunt. The interior just was a turnstile. They were just letting people in. Shane Waldron was running tight end screens with Roma Dunze blocking on 3rd and medium. The run game did nothing. I really cannot stress how much the surrounding talent did not help him in any way, shape, or form in the first couple of weeks. The defense was the only thing he had going for him. And so he definitely has a lot of room to grow before he has the chance to become an elite quarterback at the NFL level. He just possesses the traits that don't come around very often and you cannot teach. That, combined with the fact that we are seeing incremental growth from week to week, is what leads me to believe that my assessment of him pre-week 1 is going to happen. I believe that he will become an elite quarterback at the NFL level. Will he become Patrick Mahomes? Will he become the next Aaron Rodgers? Only time will tell. All I can tell you is that he possesses the traits of an elite quarterback, and it's not very often that a quarterback prospect comes around that has all of these traits combined. It really doesn't happen very often. He will be an elite quarterback at the NFL level, and we are seeing the growth week by week. With that being said, if you like what you've seen and heard in this video, feel free to like and subscribe. It's a free and easy way to support the channel, and I'd really appreciate it. Thank you, and have a good day.